Today's topic, how to make a guy miss you. Today I want to share specific practical tips with you that can help you to make your man miss you and desire you and want to be with you and eventually fall in love with you. And the first thing that you might want to do is to hug him and touch him a lot when you are with him, because then he will miss your touch whenever you're not around. And of course, this totally depends on which stage of the dating process you are at right now. If you, for example, just went on a first date with him, then you can't just hug him and touch him all over his body, because then, he probably likes it, but it will freak him out a little bit. It might be a little bit too fast for him. In this case, you can touch his leg, you can touch his arm a little bit, but then when you're, for example, now with a man who you already started dating, and maybe you've even been intimate with him already, then you can touch him a little bit more. Then you can hug him, you can snuggle up to him, and you can be very affectionate in a physical sense when you are with him. And whenever you are not with him, he will miss your touch. He will miss the skin-on-skin contact. He will miss you being close to him, and this will make him miss you. However, when it comes to making a man miss you, you don't always have to tell him how much you miss him. You can, of course, every now and then say, hey, I miss you, or hey, I missed you today. But if you do that all the time, then you never give him the chance to miss you, because he's so sure that you are the one who's missing him and that he can't lose you. So instead, pull back a little bit. Don't always tell him how much you miss him, so that you give him the space and the opportunity to actually miss you a little bit. And one thing you want to do if you want to make a guy miss you is to listen to his goals and dreams and encourage him to achieve his goals and to pursue his dreams. So whenever he talks about the ideas he has, or if he wants to start a business, or what kind of business he wants to start, or what he wants to do in his career, you should listen very carefully, because you can use what he tells you to make him miss you. In fact, you don't even have to use what he tells you. You just have to listen. That's the easiest thing to do. Because when you listen to him, you give him the feeling that you care about him. And when a man has the feeling that the woman he is with cares about his dreams, cares about his goals, cares about his ambitions, and she's actually the supportive force in his life who wants him to succeed, who wants him to achieve greatness, then he will miss you whenever you are not with him and whenever you are not listening to him. Because then he sits at home on the couch and he thinks, I really want to talk to her now about my dreams, about my goals. I really want to have her opinion. I want her support. Oh, right now she's not here. I really miss my woman right now. And this is something that you can easily do by just listening to him. And in the same way, it also helps you to help you, a man, to succeed and to, in some sense, create your dream man by encouraging him to be the ambitious man that you've always wanted. So there's a win-win situation. You make him miss you, and you also create, and you can say form, the dream guy that you've always wanted to have. And always remember that a devoted man is a man who will miss you every second of the day. And that's why it's so important that you make your man devoted to you. And you can make your man devoted to you no matter if you just had the first date with him and you can already imagine a relationship with him, or if you are already in a relationship with this man, but you're a little bit afraid that he will pull back, that he might leave you at some point, and you want him to miss you, and you want him to be devoted to you. And if you want the ability and the power to make any man, no matter at what stage of the dating process you're at, devoted to you, then you can click on the first link in the description or go to gethimkeephim.com/devoted and watch this video till the very end, because in this video you discover the devotion sequence and how you can use it on your man so that your man will not only miss you, but he will then be devoted to you. And when a man is devoted to you, he will never even think of leaving you. And whenever he texts you, you can wait 10 or 15 minutes with your reply. Or maybe you even want to wait a little bit longer. What I wouldn't do is to wait 1 day or more than 1 day, because that's then disrespectful. You also don't want to text him and then 1 day later you get a response. But if you just wait a little bit, this can already make him miss you. Especially if you, for example, read his text message and then you wait 10, 15 or 20 minutes with your response, and he might check on his Facebook Messenger or his WhatsApp Messenger. that you've already read the message. And then he thinks to himself, why isn't she replying? Why is there still no reply? What's going on? And then he's starting to miss you. And don't give up your social life to always make time for him. That's the worst mistake you can possibly make. If you want a man to miss you, if you want him to at some point be devoted to you, you have to live your own life. Because if you give your life up for him, then he will always have the feeling, yeah, she's just living for me. I can never miss her because she's always there. Why would I ever miss her? But if you live your own life, if you meet your friends, if you follow your dreams, if you work on your career, and you then have him in your life, but not as the center of your universe, but just as the man you love, but you still have your own life, this then makes him miss you whenever you're not around, whenever you're working on your dreams, and whenever you're meeting your friends and socializing in your social circle. But what you can also do if you want to make a guy miss you is to give him something that reminds him of you whenever you are not around. You can, for example, give him a t-shirt of yours, or you can give him a bracelet, no matter what it might be, or maybe one earring. I mean, that's something that some of my coaching clients did after I shared this tip with them. They gave one earring to their guy, and then whenever they are not around, he will look at this earring and miss them. And it's really effective. It's a psychological trigger that whenever he looks at this, whatever this might be, it can be an earring, can be a bracelet, a necklace, it can be a shirt, whatever it might be, he will automatically think of you because it belongs to you and because you gave it to him. And this will then make him miss you. And let him know how happy he makes you and be happy in his presence. I mean, of course, if you had a really bad day, then you shouldn't fake it. You shouldn't smile in a fake way and say, hey, honey, I'm really happy. Hee hee, do you see? You still want to be honest and authentic. But if he's the right guy for you, then he will make you happy, and then you are happy in his presence. And when you feel happy with him, show it to him. Be playful, smile at him. And this gives him energy, because when he has the feeling that you are happy in his presence, it will make him feel happier, way happier than he has ever been with any other woman in his life. And then he will miss you whenever you are not around, because when you're then not around, when you're, for example, out with friends or you're at your job, he then thinks about the happy times he spent with you, and at the same time he can feel that now that you are not around, he's less happy than when you are around, and as a result, he will miss you even more. And another great way to make a guy miss you whenever you are not with him is to encourage him to open up and to be emotionally vulnerable. So many men struggle with opening up. So many men think that revealing their emotions is a sign of weakness, even though you and me, we both know that it's a sign of strength. But there's so much conditioning, social conditioning to be more precise, that made men believe that it's a sign of weakness to show their emotions. And if you are the one woman that he's now dating who finally allows him to share his emotions, not only allows him to share them, but who encourages him to share his emotions, this man will miss you whenever you are not close to him, whenever you are more than 10 meters away from him. Because by allowing him to share his emotions, by allowing him to be emotionally vulnerable, and by encouraging him and also rewarding him for being emotionally vulnerable, he will form a deeper connection with you than he has ever formed with any of his ex-girlfriends. And then whenever you're not with him, he will miss you, and miss you. I've coached women in Skype coaching sessions who have learned from other dating coaches before they started working with me that you have to make a man jealous in order to make him miss you. But I guarantee you this will backfire. This is a very dangerous and risky thing to do. You are playing with fire if you do that. And I've coached women who've lost really amazing men just because they listened to other dating coaches who told them, you have to make him jealous, you have to flirt with other men, then he will miss you, you should go out and you should not text him back for 2 or 3 days. That's not missing, that's fear of abandonment, and this can easily lead to crazy mind movies in his head and to deep-rooted jealousy. And this is the fastest way to get rid of a man, not to make him miss you. So be very careful with making him jealous. Be very careful with triggering his fear of abandonment. This is not something to play with. Instead, I want you to develop the self-confidence and the self-worth, or let's say the perceived self-worth, that you need in order to be willing to walk away. And I don't mean this in the sense that you show him, hey, you know what, if you don't behave like this, I'll walk away. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that when he can feel that you are a confident woman, that you have a high self-worth, that you respect and love yourself, then he knows that you would walk away if he doesn't treat you like the queen you are, if he doesn't love you the way you deserve to be loved. A man can't ever miss you if he has the feeling that you would be with him no matter what he does. And that's why it's so important to develop this self-love, to develop this self-respect, so that you have the power to make men miss you and fall in love with you. And if you want to work with me on developing true self-confidence, self-worth, and self-love, then you can click on the second link in the description or go to gethimkeephim.com/Skype. And then you can decide for yourself if you want to work with me. And one last tip when it comes to making a guy miss you, I want you to prioritize your life, your career, and your dreams. Never make him the center of your universe. Don't always be available. Don't always say yes to everything. Live your life and see him as a part of your life, but never the main center of your life. And then he will automatically in the process miss you. And of course, while you're doing that, while you're living your life and while you're enjoying the time with him, you also want to make him more and more devoted to you. And if you are ready to make him devoted to you, then you can go to gethimkeephim.com/devoted or click on the first link in the description and watch this video till the very end to find out more about the devotion sequence that was specifically designed for women like you who want to have a loving relationship with a devoted man. And if you enjoyed watching this video, if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. And leave a comment in the comment section below. Share your opinion, share your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. And I would love it even more if you would hit the subscribe button and smash that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video.